So good morning once again. Today is March 31st, and this is HN 150. This is our honors experience course. So this course is a course where students who have joined the Monroe College Honors Program take this common course together. And this semester, I've had the pleasure to work with all of the presenters that you see in front of you, okay? They're all at the top, so I want to introduce my class: Asa, Brianna, Christopher, Dalton, Danelli, Ifioma, Jessica, Jocelyn, Michaela, Millie, Pamela, Shaniqua, Shariah, and Stephanie. So they're all here ready to present for you, and the topic that they picked is navigating our futures, the role of passion, curiosity, and listening. So we chose this topic because all semester we've been working with a theme, and the students will tell you about that theme. And what I'm going to tell you guys, everybody who's a participant today, is that after we go through our presentation, the students have prepared a Kahoot for you. So you will be quizzed a little bit about the things that we talk about. So pay attention. So our agenda today is to give you our introduction, to tell you about that theme. So just so you guys can hear it once, the theme is navigating our world, questioning, listening, and answering. So perhaps you see where we got some of our topic areas from. We're going to talk about the role of passion and curiosity in our lives, as well as the role of listening. And then, like I said, we're going to have an activity, and that'll lead us to have some open discussion and comments. So throughout the presentation, anybody who's here should feel free to comment in the chat and to give us feedback. But I'm really looking forward to hearing my students present. So without further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Asa.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Asa Martinez, and I'm in my first year of college. So what is the honors
You have to turn on your mic, Asa, or we can't hear you right now. We can see you. You look great, but I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Can't hear you. You can hear. Interesting.
Oh.
So it's me. Okay, so Professor MacDonald will be right back. All right, you go ahead. If they can hear you, that's
Okay.
good.
So what is the honors experience? The entry-level honors course will allow students to examine the many facets of the world around them, including but not, oh, it changed. Okay. Including but not limited to the arts, science/technology, history, politics, culture, sports, philosophy, psychology, literature, and current events. Through the in-depth exploration of focused topics within these broad subject areas, students will be introduced to the way an honor student studies, examines, and analyzes the world around them. So, this year's theme is navigating our world, questioning, listening, and answering. This year's theme is perfect for the time we live in. We hope that you will embrace it, think critically, ask questions, do the research, analyze the data, solve the problems, answer the questions, and then repeat. Now I will pass it to my classmate, Brianna.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is Brianna Garcia. I am a criminal justice major. This is my first year in Monroe. So some of the TED Talks that we used during the course this year was The Day I Stood Alone by Boniface Mangai, The 2 Questions to Uncover Your Passion by Noeline Carable, Why Some of Us Don't Have a True Calling by Emily Wepnick, 5 Ways to Listen Better by Jillian Treasure, and another TED Talk video by Jillian Treasure was How to Speak So People Want to Listen. The takeaway that was taken away by the TED Talks to understand our theme better was how it connects to our daily lives. We can see the world from different points of views and situations that are presented to us often. We can exercise our mind to have more acceptance in topics that we don't agree or we don't relate to very much. I will be passing the next slide to my classmate Dalton.
Good morning, class. My name is Dalton Gomez. I am 18 years old. I am a first-year student at Monroe College, and my major is criminal justice. So a few things to keep in mind in the presentation. The world gradually changes every day. Some things that change are more transparent than others. It's okay to think and be curious. A mind as deep as an ocean is better than a mind as deep as a puddle. When you listen, you learn. When we think, we want to know, so we listen. When we listen, we learn. And when we learn, we are able to answer questions we have longed to answer. I will now be passing this next slide to my classmate, Nelly.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Danelli. My major is Health Services Administration. I'm also a first-year student at Monroe. All right, so I'll give you the basic definition of what passion and curiosity is. So passion is a feeling of intense enthusiasm towards or compelling desire for someone or something, while curiosity is a desire to know or learn something. I'll now pass it on to my classmate, Millie.
All right, so we'll give Millie a chance. Maybe her microphone is loading. All right, so Millie, are you with us to be able to turn on your mic? Okay, all right. So I'll go through it. So for Millie, technical difficulties, right? So being curious gives us the ability to ask the right questions, right? And then it's through asking questions that we get answers, right? To gain more knowledge, to gain more insight into the world around us, into ourselves. And honestly, you know, some of the greatest innovations and some of the greatest technologies that we have are because people were asking questions. And Millie cites on her slide, you know, people like Alexander Fleming, who created penicillin, and Isaac Newton, who discovered gravity, right? I mean, imagine the world without kind of understanding those two things, just as two examples, right? Curiosity can also fuel our creativity and allow us to lead to new ideas and developments. And these things shape our society. So we really felt that tapping into our curiosities and allowing ourselves to have curious minds and curious, you know, lead to the passions that we have, right? And that's one of the reasons why the students chose to talk to you about this today. So now I'm going to turn it over to Shariah, who's going to talk a little bit about one of the other TED Talks. And I did post some of those links to the TED Talks in the chat.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Shaya Chatter, and I'm a diagnostic medical sonography major, and this is my last semester at Monroe College. How passion plays a role in life. Passion is an extreme feeling, emotion, or desire. An example is how you feel about a person you love or hobbies. Passion plays an important role in our lives, whether it's about your career or something else. It gives your life a meaning, purpose, and it fuels your motivation. Passion gives you a reason to keep learning and be excited. Nolan Kirabo explained in the 2 questions to uncover your passion that in Africa, they went to school, cram to pass, then get a job. After getting a job, they have to put up with all the extra stuff, whether the job is good or not, until they're offered another job or retirement. After she dropped out of school, she took a free online course and worked for 8 years, then figured there has to be more to life than just following the routines that was set for you. So she decided to open an organization called KUSA, where they work with dropouts young youths to discover and follow their passion. Now I'll be passing it on to my classmate, Daniele.
All right, so hello once again, and today I'll be telling you about The Day I Stood Alone by Boniface Mwangi. Okay, so this TED Talk basically talks about Mwangi's personal journey, um, about the injustice in his country, which is Kenya, and how he stood alone one day. So Mwangi is an activist and a photographer, and the images that he's taken basically depicts how people were brutally murdered and how women were raped. Even though the president of Kenya signed peace treaties with other countries. So because of these pictures, Kenya were now like exposed to what was going on in the country. Um, and because of these pictures, the he no, because of the pictures, it now became his trademark. And then he gained a lot of young people who were passionate about bringing change towards the country. Um, After all of this happened, he created a group called Power 254. And Power is basically a non-profit organization established in Kenya in 2009. The acronym Power is Swahili corruption for power, while the 254 is Kenya's international telephone code. Um, I hope you guys check the TED Talk out. I think Professor MacDonald put the link in there. Um, and now I'll be passing it on to my classmate, Shaniqua.
I can see your mic, Shaniqua, so you can start talking even if your camera's not loading, so go for it.
Hello, good morning. My name is Shaniqua and I am a criminal justice major. I will be discussing the Tech Talk Why Some of Us Don't Have One True Calling by Emily Wapnick. Emily Wapnick discussed how she felt that she was afraid of commitment because she was interested in different important stuff in her life. These individuals who are interested in different interests are called multi-potentialite. 3 multi-potentialite superpowers are: number 1, idea synthesis, which combines 2 or more fields. Number 2, rapid learning. When these individuals are interested in something, they step out of their comfort zones to learn about new topics. And number 3, adaptability. Individuals can morph into anything they want, such as an individual being both a teacher and an actor. Next, we will be moving on to the role of listening, which my classmate Christopher will be presenting.
Hello, good morning. All right, my name is Christopher, and this is my first semester at Monroe College. All right, the importance of listening. Listening is the key to communication. If you want to make a difference in the world, to be a great parent, to have a brilliant relationship, to lead and inspire people, to be a real friend, or change the way people think forever, listening is the most important skill. You gain more information and create more opportunities for yourself to be successful in life. All right, and on to the next slide. The 5 ways to listen better according to Julian Treasure, which are silence, which means staying quiet for at least 3 minutes for the day, which could help someone become a better listener. The second being called the mixer, which is the mix of sounds all coming together, whether it's birds, televisions, cars, etc. The third would be savoring, which is when you just enjoy the certain sounds, such as like a washing machine or a coffee grinder. The fourth is called listening positions, which is when you listen to certain sounds based on the activity doing, meaning you could be active or exercising and you're listening to passive or energetic music. And last is the acronym RASA, which means receiving, appreciate, summarize, and asking. And now I'll pass it off to my classmate, Michaela.
Hi, everybody. My name is Michaela. I'm a criminal justice major, and I'm currently a freshman at Monroe College. I'm going to talk about the importance of listening to other people. So listening to other people's experiences and points of view helps us to understand different people's points of view and experiences in the world. We also are able to learn about others and about ourselves as we listen and grow. In order to be a good listener, it's um, first important to understand what listening is. So, listening is defined as a conscious action, which is hearing something with a thoughtful intention, which is different from just hearing, which is an unconscious process where you just receive sound, but you're not actually paying attention to the whole of it or the full context of what somebody is saying. Um, when you are listening to somebody, it is completely attentively, you're listening not only to the words, but also to the feeling of what is being conveyed. So, how are we able to improve our listening skills is something that my classmate Pamela will now discuss.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Pamela Ellerby, and I will be discussing good listening strategies. 1. Face the speaker and maintain eye contact. Be attentive, be present, give attention, and pay attention. Keep an open mind, listen without judging the other person. 4. Listen to the key words and create a mental model of the info being communicated. 5. Don't interrupt the speaker, because I know we all did that sometime in our lives. 6. Wait for the speaker to pause and ask clarifying questions. Wait for the speaker to 7. Only ask questions to ensure understanding. 8. Empathize with the speaker. Give the speaker feedback to know that you're paying attention. Pay attention to the nonverbal cues. That's very important. Listening is our access to understanding, yet conscious listening creates understanding. Thank you, and I will be passing it off to Professor MacDonald.
All right, so thank you, Pamela. So now we're going to get into our activity. So I hope that you guys, first of all, I want to give all the presenters who just went a big round of applause for telling us a little bit about what they've learned about passion, curiosity, and listening. So now we're going to kind of put all of that to the test, so to speak, and to kind of encourage a little bit of conversation amongst all of the people who are here with us this morning. So I'm going to invite Brianna, who has put together a Kahoot activity for us, to share her screen. So Brianna, you can go ahead and share your screen whenever you're ready. And what you guys are going to do when you see the Kahoot screen is you will be able to log in. So whether you want to log in on your computer, like open up a new tab on your browser, or you can even use your device to log in. By a show of hands, how many people in here have played Kahoot before? Anyone play Kahoot? Come on, I know more people than these people have. All right, there we go. All right, awesome. So Brianna, you can go ahead and share your screen, and we will have some people to play. And again, the questions that are in the Kahoot are inspired from our presentation. They are ways for us to kind of generate a little bit of conversation. But if anybody does have a question or a comment for the class, you can put it in the chat and they'd be more than happy to answer you. I did notice Professor Negrin's comments about listening to the birds, right, as a good listening activity, and I agree. I think that that's an excellent way of kind of tuning out and focusing in on something. All right, so this is where you have the, yep, we can see it, Brianna. So what you guys can do is you would go to kahoot.it and enter in that game pin. All right, Brianna, I think you're ready to get going.
All right. Wait, who just came in? Oh, no, we got everybody? Okay. We have everybody, so I can start or no?
Yeah, go ahead. We can start. Not everybody joined in, but that's fine. We can just get going. We have 19 competitors.
Okay, the first question is, what is the importance of curiosity? It gives you the ability to ask the right questions, bring out creativity in individuals, leads to the new ideas and developments, or all the above.
All right, I think all right. Oh, okay. So Brianna, you want to go over the results?
Okay, so everybody who chose all of above is correct. 3 people chose the triangle.
Technically, all of them are kind of correct, right? But we were,
Yeah.
again, all of them are kind of technically correct, which is why all of the above is the right answer, right? But again, looking at these things is very subjective, right? Curiosity, passion is not, it's not something that's completely concrete, right? So it means different things to different people. So Devon asked, can we use the chat? So I would say you can use the chat, maybe like after we get to, you can use, I will say you could use the chat. So feel free. If you guys are playing for real and you don't want to see the chat, if people are kind of, giving away answers in the chat, just don't look at the chat, close your chat. So go ahead, Bree. We're ready to move on to the next question, which I think is being handled by Jessica.
Yeah.
So the next question is, what is the theme of the semester? If you remember, we mentioned that at the beginning of our presentation. So the options are passion and ideas, listening, navigating our world, questioning, listening, answering, or questions. So 17 people choose navigating our world, questioning, listening, and answering, and 2 use passions and ideas, and 1 choose listening. So passion and ideas, it comes with the part of navigating our world, but the theme of our semester was navigating our world, questioning and listening and answering.
All right, thanks, Jess. So we can move on to the next question, and we'll turn it over to Stephanie. No worries, Juan. We're glad to have you here when you can be here with your connection, so welcome.
Okay, so the next question is, which is more important to you, passion or curiosity? Okay, so it seems like most people went with passion and only 5 people went with curiosity.
So I'll just throw it in here, and you can use the chat depending on how you answered. So, you know, if you, depending on what you chose, both of them are correct. All right. I know that like Kahoot is saying like, oh, you're partially correct. I don't know why it's doing that, but you're correct. Okay. No matter which one you chose. And we're curious why you chose the one that you chose. So if anyone wants to share in the chat, or even if you're not playing the Kahoot and you want to share, that would be great. Go ahead, Amaya.
So I picked passion, and I feel that passion is more important to me because I feel like if you go into anything and you don't, have an interest in it, then it's just not going to be fun for you. So I feel like you should always have a passion in whatever it is that you're doing, or try to have a passion in whatever it is you're doing.
Great answer. I mean, that's great. Thank you. Dalton, go ahead.
Personally, I pick both because I feel like you can't have one without the other. Like to have passion for something, you have to be curious about it first, in my opinion, and then you develop the passion over that certain thing over time. So I feel like it basically is like a balancing game.
I agree. I mean, I think that they are definitely interconnected. And it seems like there's a lot of people who agree in the chat, because without, passion, you wouldn't have curiosity, right? And to a certain degree, if you didn't have curiosity, you might not be able to discover your passions. So that is very good points that you guys bring up. So thank you guys for sharing. All right, Brianna, so we can move on to the next question. You can read it to the group.
Okay, so what is the, whoa, that was a typo there. What does the R stand for in RASA? Receive, release, raise, or reward? Okay, so 12 people chose receive, 1 person chose raise, and 4 people chose reward. Wait, is it the circle one? they chose? Yeah, release. Sorry.
All right, so Rasa, receive, appreciate, summarize, and ask. Don't forget. All right, so now we'll turn it over to Jess again.
So the next question is, who is the tech talk speaker? Noeline Kirabo, Emily Wapnick, Tyler Swift, or Kim Kardashian? So 13 people choose Emily Wipkin and 4 choose Noelle Kirabo. So the right answer was Emily Wipnick.
And there, I just put the link to her TED Talk back in the chat. So now we'll turn it over to Steph.
What is an example of passion you have? Hobbies, careers, friends or partners, or your major?
All right, so as Jess will, or Stephanie, you want to take this? So all of them are correct, right?
Yeah, all of them are correct. Why do you guys have this example of passion?
And again, we opened it up so people can raise their hand or share in the chat, but, I'm sure that not everybody sees all of these as, being as important as the others, but perhaps somebody would like to share one of their passions or one of the ones that they see as one of their biggest passions. Take Dalton. All right, let's go with Dalton, and then I thought I heard a second hand go up. Go ahead, Dalton.
My biggest passion would have to be football. Growing up, I always loved the sport, and my grandfather, he loved the sport. So when I got to high school, I definitely decided to join the football team, and it basically worked out in my favor. I ended up loving the game, respecting the game, and when he passed away, I knew he was proud of me about my life for playing football, and I know he would want me to keep going and pursue something more than just high school football. Try to play in college and whatnot.
Definitely. I mean, thank you for sharing that. And again, I think that passion is very, personal too, right? So there's not a right or wrong answer to these questions, guys. But we're just looking to kind of just gauge where you guys are with these things. All right, so we have another 4 questions to go, I think. So I'm going to turn it back over to Brianna, who will take you to question number 7. Oh, we didn't have a, do we have a, so, okay, so with this one, right, we have, what is one strategy to good listening? And again, the answer is all of the above. So all of them are, all of them are correct, right? But again, we were looking for all of the above. And, I think one of the things that we mentioned in the chat, particularly during the listening portion of the presentation, is that listening isn't always easy to do. And there is a difference between hearing and listening, right? But most people got it right, so that's good. All right, so let's turn it back over to Jess, who will read question number 8. So Bree, if you want to switch it over to the next question. There we go. All right, so we got our leaderboard. Dalton, I think it's been rigged. He's part of this class, and somehow he's winning. How did that happen, Dalton? All right, we got a couple more questions.
So our next question is a true or false. It's not possible to have passion for your job. True or false? So 7 people choose true and 8 chose false. So does anyone want to explain why they choose true or false?
This is a tough one, right? Because I think what you see is, we're used to kind of working because we have to work. But could you have passion for your job? And I think the answer to that is yes. All right, so let's do our last 2 questions. Brianna, move us along, and we'll have Stephanie read the next one.
Is a mixer one of the ways to listen better? True or false? Okay, seems like we have 11 people who chose true and 4 who chose false.
Right. So the mixer was the activity that allowed when you're standing in a space and you're trying to tune into a very particular sound. So to Professor Negrin's example from earlier, right? Even if you're in your house and the TV's on or there's background noise, tuning in to hear the sound of the bird singing would be an example of playing the mixer. All right, so we're on our last question. Brianna, go for it. All right, so this was true because we do think, and what we've talked about in our class is that hearing that unconscious ability, right? You know, unless you have a disability, you can hear, but you have to actually concentrate and make a conscious decision, as Michaela had said, to listen. So let's see what our podium looks like. I declare Ocean the true winner since she was not in our class. So I want to thank everybody for joining in today and watching our presentation. If anybody from Professor Negrin's class or Professor Troshnoff's class has a question, feel free to ask it right now. But I want to congratulate my class on a great job. They were nervous coming into this, and I know that, you know, it's not always a easy thing to give a presentation, and you know, even though in the virtual world it seems like it could be easier, it's not. So thank you, and thank you so much for coming, Professor Villegas, as well. So what I will say is, Professor Negrin students and Professor Troshnoff students, please make sure that you go back to your respective course rooms for wrap-up, since there's still a little bit of time left in the period. Everyone else who's joined in, thank you once again for coming. I'm going to stop the recording here.